Hey Marvel fans, I'm JoeFan82 and today's video takes a look at the Marvel Legends Shang-Chi figure. Stay tuned as we take a closer look. This figure came out way back in 2020, at the beginning of 2020, before the pandemic, before the world went crazy, and I actually missed out on him. I knew about him, but I didn't pick him up, and I recently got him thanks to my son who got him for me for my birthday. Shout out to Cooper, thank you for that. And so here he is, out of the package. He's looking really awesome. I have to say, I really like this figure. You don't have to watch the rest of the video if you don't want to. That's my opinion, but we're going to go ahead and take a closer look anyway. He's got lots of articulation, a lot of stuff going on here, even though at first glance you might think, well, you know, he's not wearing a shirt. It's a very simple figure, but he's got a lot going on. And he doesn't look exactly like the classic Shang-Chi. If you're used to, you know, him with a full shirt, I think that might have gotten in the way of some of his articulation on the top, having some of those martial arts moves. So I think they made a right choice here going with the shirtless option. His pants, however, are very close to his old school version comic book look, with the red and the yellow on the bottom, the yellow pattern on the bottom. And I really like the sculpt on this. Shang-Chi looks like he has negative 20% body fat. He's a very well-toned figure. Shang-Chi's not a big muscular guy. He's a toned martial artist, and really nice sculpt on this. And I really like the head sculpt. It's really, really nice. Nothing to complain about there at all. He's got a red headband with some long tails on it, a long headband. And there's some other articulation. You might notice the cuts for the articulation. To me, it's not a huge deal, I guess. I'm used to it by now, seeing, you know, those cuts. I guess it's a little more noticeable when he's not wearing clothes, you know. But the bandana here looks really awesome. I love how they sculpted it out so it's kind of flowing in the wind. And you can see he's got the butterfly joints there on the back, and his head, it looks okay, I guess, in profile. It could be worse, but really, really nice head sculpt on this. Very determined look on his face. Paint apps are really sharp on this figure, no issues there. Moving down, he's got a black belt, solid black belt, and red pants. His lower legs are red paint seems a little bit different than what's there right at the top, but overall looks okay. Great sculpt. Yeah, it's got that yellow trim on the bottom of his legs and no shoes. It's articulation time. This guy has a lot of the standard articulation we've come to expect from 6-inch and Marvel Legends figures. Very nice range of motion here on the head, as we would hope. He's got butterfly joints, as I mentioned earlier, which is something you'd really like to have on a figure like this. And those are really nice, move nice and smooth. Shoulder goes full 360. I would have to say the shoulders are the tightest joints on this figure for me. And he's got another swivel there at the top of the bicep, and double jointed elbows, 360 turn at the wrist, and another joint there on this hand. And this hand also has another joint. We'll take a close look at the alternate hands this figure comes with. And he's got the infamous chest cut here, or abdomen cut, and he can do a crunch there if you want him to. His legs come up about so far, not too far, not as far as you would expect, and they come straight up, and yeah, that's about as high as I can get them. Can't do a full split, which is a little surprising, I guess. They could have made that a little bit looser or a little bit, you know, smaller, that joint. But he's got a swivel there at the top of the thigh, and double jointed knees, and then a rocker ankles, and a nice up and down joint there at the top of the foot. Whether you think he comes with a lot of accessories is probably your perspective. He comes with 2 nunchucks. This is the first one. Both of them are red and gold, red handles with a gold chain, and then a gold dragon's head on the ends, really nicely sculpted. Again, gold chain, pretty stiff, not too bendy. This one looks like it's, he's got it held ready and it's hanging down. Looks pretty good. Actually, like that one, like this look, I think it looks actually really good like this, where he's holding it behind, he's ready to strike. And actually like this nunchuck better than the second one he comes with, which is this one, and it's fully straight out. I guess he could hold it with 2 hands, it's a little bit bendy, a little bit flexible, he could do that. But I think he really should hold it kind of like he's actually using it, like it's flying through the air, And yeah, I think it looks pretty good. He comes with a lot of extra hands, standard gripping action figure hands. These sort of martial arts posing hands. I don't know what the technical name for that is, but he's got these and they look really good. Some bear claw-like hands. These are my favorite. Fists, you can't go wrong with some fists. He's ready to fight. And yeah, I wish every action figure came with a set of extra fists, because it's much better looking than punching with an open hand. And he comes with this left chopping hand, and really nice sculpt on this. My thumb got a little pinched during the production process, I think, but overall really nice. And here he is on this stand that I got when I purchased the Black Widow movie figure last year. He looks really cool, flying through the air, doing a kick. If you have this stand, I recommend using it with him. It looks great. And here he is with a couple G.I. Joe figures, G.I. Joe classified figures. You might be asking, well, why would Shang-Chi be with G.I. Joe? Well, there is a precedent from way back in June of 1987. Shang-Chi actually appeared in an Action Force comic. This was the UK version of the G.I. Joe comic, released in the United Kingdom, in England. And within the back rear portion of the comic, there was a backstory with Quick Kick telling about how he met Shang-Chi and was trained by him and learned a lot, and it was really interesting. And one of the few times we saw Marvel characters appear in a G.I. Joe related comic. And Quick Kick also mentions meeting Iron Fist, Batroc the Leaper, and Elektra. None of which was ever mentioned again in the pages of G.I. Joe or Action Force. They were never heard from again. So just a blink and you miss it moment there, but a really interesting piece of G.I. Joe history. I think he looks great with the G.I. Joe classified figures. You could argue that he makes a really good Quick Kick. And if you are a customizer, a simple paint swap would actually turn this into a pretty decent Quick Kick. Just turn that red bandana white, paint the pants black, and add a red secondary sash, and there you go. I've seen several of those on the internet. It doesn't seem like it would be too hard, and there you go. I'm not much of a customizer, so I'll stick with this look for now, but I think he looks pretty good. And I think if he was going to be up against a bad guy, would be the Red Ninja. I don't have the Marvel Legends Red Ninja, but this classified Red Ninja works pretty well. And I want to know, what do you guys think? Who would win in a fight, the Red Ninja or Shang-Chi? Let me know in the comments. Here's a quick look at the packaging that he came in. This is a standard Marvel Legends box, Master of Kung Fu Shang-Chi. Here's some really nice artwork here on the left. And you see a red spider web. That's because this is part of the Spider-Man wave. You see several different Spider-Man figures, Vulture and a Demo Goblin Build-A-Figure. Nice product shot of Shang-Chi there on the top. And again, that same image on the right. And here's the Build-A-Figure piece of Demo Goblin, his torso and waist, and beautifully sculpted cape, like these tatters, there on the back. this is removable. This comes apart. And I don't really know much about Demogoblin, but I'm guessing this is pretty comic accurate and it looks pretty nice. Overall, I'd have to say I really like this figure, in case you can't tell. I think he's a great Marvel Legends figure for Shang-Chi, comic accurate version. And I'm wondering if eventually they'll release a fully classic version with his classic shirt, or one of his newer looks. He has a little bit of a newer design these days as far as his costume goes. But also, this makes a pretty good stand-in for a classified 6-inch quick kick figure. If you're in the market for that, I highly recommend it. I'm going to put a link in the description for where you can purchase this figure if you're looking. You might need to pay a little bit more than retail. He's been out for a while, but I do recommend it. Let me know what you guys think about this figure in the comments below. If you like this video, please hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of my future videos. Hit the bell for notifications. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.